What is up, guys? It is Thursday night. It's a climbing night. So didn't go too hard, but ultimately was able to leverage the same sort of success that I had on Tuesday into tonight. I actually got a climb that I've been working on for a couple weeks now. Not super focused on that climb, but definitely gave it a couple attempts every night I've been there and finally got it. I tried it again. Didn't have as much success, so it's something I'm going to have to continue to work on. I also didn't want to completely blast myself before the Spartan race on Saturday, which I feel pretty prepared for. Although I did end up tearing my hand, not terribly, right towards the end of the climb. I got it already, got some healing salve on there, and it's just going to be what it is for the climb. Feeling pretty strong, feeling pretty light, so I think it's going to be a pretty great day. This isn't 100% ideal, but I think it's going to be fine. So I think climbing is going very well. I think the race is going to go very well. I'm feeling fairly positive about everything going into it. So looking forward to it. Gonna try to get some rest tonight. I got pretty decent nutrition going in. Probably eat a couple extra bananas in the next day or two. And like I said, I have some goo in order to get me into and through the race, which is just a little bit of an energy gel. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is just thinking about previous times in my life in which I was very overwhelmed by just kind of the position I was in life, and the challenges and problems of life, or the pressures of the life, your current state of your life. I think that I'm in a much different position than I am today. I think that's taken a lot of work to get here. And I think one of the approaches, I think that like the elements of that are like the stress of work and dealing with the unpleasant aspects of it, the things that frustrate you on a daily basis, if it's your boss or if it's your colleagues, or if it's the circumstances of your job, or maybe you just don't even like your job. It could be your physical, like what kind of shape you're in. It could be all the things that you want to be, but you're not, right? And partly that comparison of it, but just really the position that you're in, and you're not really where you want to be, and that might be physically or emotionally or mentally. I take that, and if we say that we're overwhelmed by the challenges and pressures of life, I challenge you to overwhelm the pressures and challenges within your life. And so what that means is to kind of attack them. Make sure that you're taking actions in order to change those things. The disappointments and frustrations and the things that you're unhappy about are only going to continue unless you take action. And you have to take a good hard look at yourself and understand what that looks like, and the actions that you might be taking, or the actions that you're not taking, right? So if you're unhappy with an aspect of your life, it's up to you and only you to change it. And you need to own that portion. And a concept that goes into that, and I think that helps me understand it, or something I pieced together over time and I've heard a lot about recently, is the idea of behavioral activation. The initial friction of a task, so the first time you want to do something and that first try that you're going to take, the friction is the highest for that first go round, for the first attempt. After that, and to maintain an activity, to maintain a task, and eventually what would ultimately likely turn into a habit, the energy there and the friction is a lot less. So the energy required is a lot less. And that's likely to do with some of the feelings that are involved. But this is actually just scientifically proven, I believe, but it's also a widely common understood thing. So in other words, the hardest action to take is the very first one. And from there, it only gets easier. So whatever it is that you're trying to address, or whatever the aspect of your life that you're trying to change, and I wouldn't recommend changing them all, just know that you got to get started. And the hardest challenge that you're going to face is actually just the first try. So knowing that, you can make good decisions, and hopefully that's a motivating factor to get you started. One of the tips that I have, or a major tip that I would have, is to determine the actual smallest action you could take in any of those regards or any of those aspects that you want to take, and take it as soon as you can. Like, get that ball rolling and build yourself some momentum. Get to the aspect where the friction is a lot less and the energy required is a lot lower, and that you can actually keep and maintain the progress that you're headed down, the road you're headed down. So ultimately, get started. It is the absolute hardest part. And lastly, like, to kind of wrap that up, you need to realize that if you're not going to take any action to change your circumstance, then you're truthfully just accepting your circumstance. And so you need to quit bitching about it and need to work on the feelings of frustration and disappointment, because ultimately it's the choice you're making. No choice to change is a choice. No action to change and no action to change your circumstances is acceptance of your circumstances. It is a hard pill to swallow, but if you want to improve, if you want different things for your life, if all you think about is that you don't like your job, you don't like the shape you're in, you don't like other aspects of your life, you need to take action to change them. You are the only one in control of your life. So that's what I got tonight. Hopefully you guys have a safe night. Enjoy your Thursday.